Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching me push for title on a VM Hunter, late into the Season 3 of The War Within. In today's episode, we're very, very close to getting Resilience 16s. So I know you saw me with a bunch of 14s last time we were here, but in the meantime, I've done a stream where we had some great success. We did quite a few 16s, we did a few 15s as well, and now all I have left to get Resilient 16s is Priory and Streets. I'm going to try to do both in this video, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. 16s are a point where I'm starting to feel like I really can't sit there and commentate, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm also starting to realize that I'm not going to have enough gear right like this. 723 is a really low item level for like these title range keys. So I'm going to have to consider doing stuff in Mythic Raid and also just waiting for a few weeks with this character to try and get some myth pieces from the vault, sort of slowly stack up my gear and you know, move on from there. We'll see how far I can get at 723 item level, but I'm not feeling too optimistic about it, honestly, because honestly, 7 item levels of just stamina and main stat and all sorts of things, it's a lot, because these trinkets are a huge portion of my damage, and them being stuck at 717 instead of 730 is really gimping my DPS. Another thing that Kriba told me specifically is that I need to work on my defensive usage. I need to save my survival of the fittest for big overlaps, and I need to use my exhilaration basically for anything else I feel like I need to do. And I need to start thinking of exhilaration as a short sort of cooldown defensive instead of thinking of it as just some healing. So I need to time it correctly to get 3 seconds of my actual survival of the fittest when I do use exhilaration. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of defensives down here to see what I have when I have it available. I'm also going to add survival of the fittest, exhilaration, and when I can, I'll add fortitude of the bear to put it down here so I can see that I have it. And I'll also add aspect of the turtle. It will be right here at the bottom underneath all of these. I have my CC, I have my trinkets, I have my 2 cooldowns, and underneath all of that, I'm going to have my defensives, and I think that's a good idea. Because looking down here to check these at different spots across my, UI, across my action bars, doesn't feel like a great idea. Before I start working on that, though, what we have to do is we have to go and we have to name some lizards. Now, you'll probably notice, first of all, I have different pets. Second of all, I have a different mount. That's because I just felt like changing them, because the lizards, they didn't work out. They just didn't have the same color. And the mount was like too much just white, not enough yellow, so I added this mount, and I feel like it really does match. While I'm playing, I don't really see the saddle that's in front of me, so the fact that it's a bit different doesn't really matter to me. As long as these colors are here and visible, I feel like I'm doing okay. Now the lizards, I've decided to name them Rizzard, Shizzard, Blizzard, and Dave, as was suggested to me by Cyber Pirate 1101. But now, friends, what I need names for these birds, and I've been trying to think of names, and I have one that I want to use. Actually, I have 2. I have 2 that I want to use. So we have, they're basically carrion birds. That's the type of pet they are. And it made me think of a pun, and it was, one will be luggage, the other is just a carry-on. Get it? Because carrion bird, but carry on, like, it's like, help me, please. So I want 2 more names that kind of go along the theme of a carry-on, luggage, airport, stuff like that. So give me suggestions, guys. We're going to name the ferocity one Luggage, and the companion one will be Carry On, like this. There we go. Because it's a carry-on bird. Okay, moving on. So we have a 15 streets, but I need a 16 streets in order to progress. So what I'm going to do is I think Danny has a 17 Priory. We'll see if we can do the 17. That would be sick. I'd like to do that. But if we don't manage to do the 17 Priory, we'll have a 16 resulting from that, and then we'll try that. And then, of course, we might be able to apply to some 16 streets keys. I feel like 16 streets should be relatively easy to time. I don't think streets is particularly difficult unless you wipe really, really hard. But whatever key I do first, I'll talk to you when it starts. And here we go with a 17 Priory. Tank gave us the route, told us what he was going to do. On first boss, I have to interrupt the boss. Everyone else is going to cycle on the guy that spams fireballs. Okay, I'm going to probably focus and not talk much. This is my first, not my first 17, but my first 17 Priory, that's for sure. I'm going to send cooldowns here. Looking for that thunderclap. Going to go off soon. There it is. I'm going to line of sight. sight. Disrupting Shout goes out. I can just stand there for that. Danny's popping off with the heals right now. Rips go out right as I was about to knock it back. I didn't use my Bestial Wrath because I'm bad. I'm gonna drop a stun totem right here. I didn't line of sight that shield slam. Blind goes out. I send my knock up as well. Rips getting done here. Could be able to live this though. No impale on me. I don't have to do anything. I'm just looking at Suleiman here. I stun this guy to remove that. Shield slam into a thunderclap and shout as well. I'm gonna line of sight double of that. Then he goes down to the double AoE. Uses reincarn to get back up. Tank just went down. Oof. I'm not sure what to do here. I think that's a rip key. And instantly the question of Rizal goes. That's rough. That's real rough. Okay. Well, that didn't work out, but now we have a 16 key. Maybe that's a little bit easier. We'll try that, I guess. And here we are in a 16 Priory because the 17 failed. We had some deaths and then the tank went down and it was all sorts of things. But now we have a Prot Warrior here who is not taking shots to the back of the head right here at the start. That goes crazy, bro. All right, we're going to transfer aggro here in a second. And I'm just going to start building up some resources here as best I am able to. All right, we're gonna send all of our cooldowns now. Looking for that thunderclap right away. There's the thunderclap. We move away. I'm gonna try and do a knockback here. Get that over there. And now we're focusing on damage. This time I didn't mess up my thingy with the stuff. Shield slam into AoE goes out. Thunderclap, we hide. Now the knight's gonna be yelling soon. And the fens are going out. Blind goes out. Disrupting Shout, I take that, but we're going to then hide from the thingy and make sure I don't step into this crap. And we're going to knock this guy back in there. There we go. I'm super duper focused here on reducing the damage taken. Knock up takes care of the fens. Impale goes out on Danny. Thunderclap hits me, but there's nothing else hitting me. I need to hide from this AoE. Then he drops big defensive. We do a knock-up for all of these guys. Beautiful. And sending cooldowns on cooldown, because we're going to chain this most likely. Oh, the knight's still alive. My bad. I need to be focusing that instead of these little guys. Disrupting Shot goes out. He dies before that goes in. We're good. We're going to look and interrupt on this guy. And we're just switching targets here. I'm going to line of sight here. Target the... Oh, goodness. Hold on, I need to shut up. Leaping thing goes out on Danny. Sharpshooter's here. We're going to push him back on top of these. I'm going to try and avoid these traps. I'm standing over here, interrupting this guy. Looking at Chainmail, going to disengage. Yeah, you tried, lady. You f***ing tried. Not today. Chainmail goes out with the lunging strike again. This time tries Danny. Fails to. And this guy jumped at me. We're going to knock him into the group once we're able to, which is now. And now we're sending cooldowns again. Exhilarate goes out. That's a short defensive. Leap goes out. We're going to disengage as the leap goes out to make sure that that doesn't bother us. Gonna interrupt this. Fireball goes out at me, and now that guy's gonna start running towards us. Fireball lands, but it doesn't kill me. Lunging strike goes out. We're gonna start moving away. Lunging strike is not at us, so we're safe. Failed my cooldowns there a little bit. That's my bad. But I do like the prio damage we're seeing here. Quite nice. Leap goes out. We're gonna interrupt that fireball. Somebody else takes care of the... No, stuns the priest. That's alright. Gonna knock this guy into the group there. Does a jump, I think? No, he doesn't. He's going to soon, though. Lunging strike goes out. We're going to disengage. Self-heal yet again. I got some dungeon WeakAuras recently, and I can't say they're helping. I think I need to just adjust their placements and stuff before we're able to get full use out of them. And probably just get rid of a bunch of them that I'm not able to pay full attention to. We've got the patrol here. We're taking patrol into that pack. We're going to look for an interrupt on this guy. And there goes the interrupt. Okay, slowly gets it. There's a sharpshooter over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand over here. Hopefully bait the sharpshooter to come over. Knock this guy over like this. Fail my kick and then move on with my life. Okay, nice. He jumps over to me right here. And now it's time to send cooldowns. Okay. I'm targeting the one guy that's in front of all of them. We're moving over to this sharpshooter, it looks like, so I can target him and cone all of the ones behind him. That's something I need to do to improve my DPS in general, is make sure I'm using the cone from my bleak powder as efficiently as possible. I'm gonna have to switch to one of these though now. This guy's too far away. I can knock him into that though. Look at that. That'll increase everybody's DPS. That's wonderful. We're gonna focus on him now because he's the highest HP. And it looks like everyone is doing so. We're trying to get those cones out, and we're good. I know there's some pretty good give to that cone or whatever, so that's nice, I guess. I think we're skipping these guys. No, we're not skipping these guys. I'm going to put focus on the priest and get busy kicking ass. Switching over to this guy so I can cone everything. Lynx is about to jump. I'm going to start moving. I didn't manage to dodge it. I'm going to use a self-heal to hopefully get myself the full HP, along with Danny's heals. That's wonderful. Interrupting the priest's holy smite. I keep failing to use my freaking bestial wrath like an idiot. Stunning one of these, knock up takes care of all of them. Mage dips a little bit low because of the jumps. Gets a lay on hands from Aerolith. Aerolith takes care of the mage. Good. We're chaining this into that thing over there. I get hit by one of these. I'm going to use a defensive here. I'm going to put my hunter's mark on the knight. You need to step into melee for this shit. Alright, let's send the cooldowns here. I don't have a knockback to use. I'm going to stun that. Knock up takes care of it as well. I'm going to knock up again with my knock up this time. Knight is almost dead. Oh, that's perfect. They just jumped over into melee, both of them. That's wonderful. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take out this sharpshooter. I'm very focused right now. Like I'm sorry about the lackluster commentary, but I'm trying to be useful. Building up resources. He goes down. There's Damien. I'm going to immune this. That was a waste of an immune because then he used this. Looking for swirlies. Use my self heal here for the 3 seconds of the defensive. Use my regular defensive here. Danny uses Lumithar's Living Silk as well. Apparently this is a minus bazillion % slow. That's not what it is, it's a dot. So this dungeon WeakAuras is fucking weird, bro. Ooh, that was scary as hell. Alright, we're putting damage into Emberlands. Let's go. Sending all my cooldowns. Actually using Bestial Wrath this time around. I'm gonna knock this guy into this group. Using self-heal here. Help Danny get me to max HP. The sharpshooter jumps into melee. Holy Radiance. Gonna use a healing potion for this. I think I was safe, but better safe than sorry too, I guess. Knock this guy into the room, or the sign there. Emberlance low, Arcane Mage, Prio, and Execute. It's gonna go crazy here now. Jump from the sharpshooter, not much we can do. We can move Emberlance over to it. We're about to kill Emberlance, and this guy's gonna follow shortly. This is looking like % that we need here. So we're going to go ahead and skedaddle. Looking at some mana. We're going to put Hunter's Mark on Dual Maul because we're all going to be hitting Dual Maul as well. And the Hunter's Mark will last for longer. Mage Solo Boss, Rest to Add. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and send cooldowns here. I should have used the other trinket. My bad. Whatever. Lay on Hands goes out on the Mage. Overlapped my kick. I'm going to feign death this. Apparently he keeps the shield, so... Mage just barely gets that kick. That's scary as shit. No kicks available for this guy. I'm going to interrupt him now. He's going to leap soon. Please be leaping on me. No battle cry. They have leap prevention, I think, because of the Ember Storm. Here's the mauling. We good. We get out of the mauling faster than I expected it to. I got a kick in on the Mage. Tank's looking to move over here. I'm going to stay in range here, so that melee doesn't have to lose uptime from me getting pounced. Sending absolutely everything now, all my cooldowns. Sending interrupt on this guy. Good kick by Danny there, save the mage. One savage mauling left, which is on Aerolith. We break through the shield in time so it doesn't get murdered. One less dot for the tank. Fireball's going out, but everything gets kicked and boss is dead. We're ready to bloodlust pull the next thing. This is scary, dude. This is hella scary. Wait outside, he says. Alright. I'm going to transfer aggro. I'm going to wait. 25 seconds on the thing. He's jumping back. He's got movement speed. I'm looking at this paladin, focusing the priest. And let's transfer aggro and let's freaking begin, dude. Here's the bloodlust. I'm using a defensive for these massive amounts of damage. Interrupting the priest. I'm going to use my exhilarate there for the defensive that it provides. I'm going to use my bear defensive now. That paladin's dipping low, so we're going to get rid of that one soon. We kick the smite. No AoE just yet. I'm going to use a healing potion here. No, I'm not. I'm going to step into this. Another paladin's low. We're going to focus on that one. He's almost dead. He dies before he gets his cast off. That is beautiful. We're going to purge these guys now. And we're good. I think we can live this. Yeah, Danny keeps us alive. Good fucking healing. Our cooldowns available. I'm going to wait for Tank to put the next group and pull together. I feel like using them now is actually a waste, because I'd rather have more efficient damage coming from them. There we go. I'm going to put this priest on focus. Going to transfer aggro. No, put this priest on focus. Look at this. Look at this paladin and send cooldowns. Get those kicks in. Get that bestial wrath in. Secret toll. Using defensive here. Or self-heal and defensive combo. Okay, kicks have gone out. One paladin is dead. We interrupt a smite. That's all we can really do. Just gonna stun this priest and focus him down. I know that the mage is on a paladin 100%, so I can just focus down these guys and cleave them down. I can add a little bit of prior damage to them, and I feel like that makes sense. One more toll goes out, but there's no other damage happening to anyone but the tank. So we're kind of good. Tank chains into the last set. I'm going to look at the Conjurer. Paladin's getting targeted. I'm going to put a Hunter's Mark on him. And let's send cooldowns one more time. One more time. happening. Get those interrupts, make that Conjurer group up so our AoE starts hitting it. Double Paladin. Danny keeps us alive through the Sacred Tolls. I'm just looking to see if I get targeted here. Looking to see if I get targeted. Sacred Tolls will be going out soon. We're going to use a self-heal here, even though it's full HP. Why? Because Sacred Toll is about to hit. We got hit by a fireball, it seems like, afterwards. The whole being targeted by spell part of these dungeon WeakAuras I got does just straight up not work. Either that or I'm just missing it for something obvious. I do not know. 15 minutes 40 on the clock remaining as we start the second boss fight. This is looking pretty good. Transfer aggro. Hala Bubble Soak, first 5-star. Every other one he can take 2 to 3. Okay. So tank is beefy. He'll be taking care of most of those. We have a drop down. We're moving away. We're going to activate a Bestial Wrath instead of forgetting about it this time. And let's pop off on this guy. Tank will be taking 2. I feel like I can take 1. Paralyth can also probably take 1. Tank took the second one, and he's going to take the third one as well. Alright, we're going to stack up for those hammers that drop down, and then we should be good. Bait. Coming in now. Maybe move away. Look at us, just a bunch of masturbators over there. Everything's stacked. We're going to step away in this direction. We want these shields to go away. Danny and I both get hit. That's wonderful. The soaking starts. We interrupt this and use a self-heal here real quick just to stay safe. Didn't really need it, but just to stay safe. Rather safe than sorry, as I always say. And let's send Arouse's Ritual Forge and a set of cooldowns here. We should be big chillin'. Group is doing this really well. Castigator shield goes out. We're going to jump backwards here. I should be okay. Tank takes a third hit of that soak. We're going to have another 5-star one, I guess. 5 soak coming up after this. We get the hammers and now we move away. So it's a 5-star one. I think I can take 1 here. I'm going to take 1 myself. I'm going to use a big defensive here. Should be fine to live that. I've got a healing potion as well. I'm going to use the healing potion. Another set of cooldowns goes out. Next one is a 3-star one, but I think next one we just kill. No? Just kill, yeah. Castigator shield goes out. He dies at the same time as the shields hit us. That's crazy. All right, cool. Nice. Second boss down. Now just the most dangerous part of the dungeon remains with the most casters and shit. All right, transfer aggro, put this thing on the paladin. By this thing, I mean Hunter's Mark. We're going to go ahead and interrupt this thing. Overlapped Alice interrupt there, unfortunately, so that's a bit of a waste, but still got kicks to go. And he's going to get hit by that, most likely. Never mind. Warrior takes care of it. With the AoE interrupt. Sacred Toll, we're going to get hit by that. Before the second Sacred Toll. That is the second Sacred Toll. All right. Oopsie. I was going to say, before the second Sacred Toll, what I'm going to do is, oh, we all just smacked that interrupt on that thing. Goodness gracious. Knock up goes out, takes care of that one. Stun goes out, takes care of that one. Purge these guys, and let's, what the heck? Danny gets an interrupt on that. Whatever. Sending cooldowns. There we go. Cooldowns activated. Let's blast off. Purge these guys mid cooldowns, doesn't matter. It's not like I'm gonna get resets with my RNG luck. These guys are going down real quick here. Mage absolutely destroyed them in execute. That's crazy, dude. Arcane Mage pops off. I wasted some of my cooldowns, but not all of my cooldowns. I'm looking for that Fire Mage in the background. Warriors grouping it up over here. We're gonna look for the interrupt on the volley. There's a kick from the Mage on a fireball, and we're gonna kick the volley that's coming up here in a second immediately, like instantly, so nobody wastes them. I'm gonna use the defensive here because we're gonna get 2 back-to-back Sacred Tolls. I do believe the tank said he will be chaining the next pull after this. He will chain into the one after that one. Danny getting purified here. I'm going to use a self-heal for the... that's not a consecration being cast. Whoopsie daisy. Interrupt that. Somebody else will have to take care of the volley. Somebody does take care of the volley. I've got the Fortitude of the Bear defensive running for this. We're going to send cooldowns here. Pretty strong cooldowns. 8 stack quiver, 15 stack thingy. Pretty dang good if you ask me. Paladin's starting to dip low. Mage is focusing that one. I'll switch to the other one. Burst of Light goes out. I don't think Paladin's getting healed. Sacred Toll nearly takes us out. We're going to drop a Recuperate here. Start channeling that to try and get some healing done. There we go. Danny has to heal less. She can maybe drink. We're going this side. Okay. I'm confusing. No. I'm confusing this with the tank that was doing the 17. The tank that we were doing the 17 with, the monk, said that he would chain this. And then if I didn't keep that in the video, that's because we wiped right on the first pull because the tank just died. All right. It looks like we're going to be chaining this. I'm very scared right now. We are chaining this. I'm going to look for interrupts on that. Sounds like Pew Pew is about to get targeted by Purifying Beam. We're going to immediately drop aggro. And yeah, I'm going to focus these mages. These mages are what I'm really scared of. Danny's just getting really, like, she keeps getting hit by these guys with their purifying beams. I'm going to use a big defensive here. Look to see if I need self-healing. No, I don't. Danny saw it. I can hear her yelling in the other room. What the f? Because she's getting targeted by the purifying beam. Oh, shit. No, I dropped purifying beam, even though shit, I used it before. I should have. It's my bad. Okay, we get the light spawn out before it is able to get healed by the other thing. I'm gonna... Oh, Aerolith goes down, unfortunately. Bloodlust next. Okay, call goes out for that. We're looking at the footman to CC him when we need to, which is when he's low HP. Gonna stun him. I don't have Feigned Death. I'm going to use a defensive because these beams just really hurt. Really hurt. I couldn't avoid that explosion, but oh well. Bloodlusting next. Okay. Bone Pike gets that. We're going to focus this guy. Aggro transfer to tank, and he's going in. Bloodlust is about to get popped. I'm going to just use a defensive, kicking those thingies. It's not just the heals you need to kick. You got to kick the Holy Smites too. Using the bear defensive, Fortitude of the Bear from my pets. That has run out. I will now use my thingy with the stuff. All right, Brawn Pike going down this fast is really nice. This is such a nice simple route. No bullshit. You just go through it normally. Yeah, I love it. Like, it's way less complicated than some of the routes I've been doing lately that have been like, oh, they do it in the MDI. It must be good. It's like, nah, brah. Just do what you know how to do. Using my last defensive for this right now. And we have made it through the Brawn Pike pull. 6 minute 57 remaining as we do so. I mean, this is looking real good, guys. This is looking like a time 16. And then all we need is Streets after that, dude. Streets is so easy compared to Priory. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not funny. Don't laugh. Sorry. I just felt like doing something funny a bit in the commentary because I've been so zoned in. I really wanted to make sure I do well in this because this is difficult as hell. Okay, this dungeon WeakAuras set is just absolute hot garbage. We're gonna knock these guys up as they die potentially. Nope. I'm gonna stun this guy as he dies. Nice. That's something I did. That was useful. I'm going to put a stun arrow down. Hopefully that does something. Because we're just trying to avoid all of these guys blowing up and killing us here. Stun arrow expires. We don't make use of it. That's alright. And we chain into last boss. Like so. Put the hunter's mark on last boss. This ought to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Transfer aggro to tank and start blasting. Alright, we almost have our cooldowns ready. I'm going to send my cooldowns right off the bat. No questions asked. We're just gonna hope that they kind of line up for the second part. If we're like 5% away or something, hold on, let me focus. If we're like 5% away from her hitting 50% and going upstairs, I'm gonna hold cooldowns, maybe even 10%, because I feel like breaking the shield upstairs would go crazy. Like breaking it in time to not make it an issue. I'm repositioning the stand close to where we've already denied some area while still standing in Danny's healing rain. Blind goes out, we turn around, Aerolith gets blinded, immediately bubbles for no reason, even though Danny could have cleansed him, but that's alright, I don't think he'll need that bubble. Oh shit, trying to move this away. There we go. That was a little bit scary. Blinding light goes out. We turn around. We're doing great not interrupting the boss. I really like that. We're at 60%. Do I hold for 10%? Is somebody sending cooldowns? Aerolith's about to. Yeah, Aerolith just sent cooldowns. So I'm just gonna, you know, deal with that. Building up more stacks of my Blighted Quiver here. She's gonna go upstairs soon. I'm gonna go this way. We should all go together so that they all go, like all the ads go the same way. There she goes. Alright, I'm sending cooldowns right now. Right frickin' now. Using a defensive while we take this pulsing AoE. Interrupting her immediately, dropping a stun arrow right here, followed up by a slow right here. All that in a sack of bubblegum, baby, or something. All that in a whole sack of bubblegum. Very high value bubblegum when you can get it in sacks. Go to a store. Hello, I would like a sack of bubblegum. You mean a pack of bubblegum? No, I want a sack of bubblegum. All right, let's focus up. We're still not out of the woods yet. We're gonna use a self-heal here. Help with that last few ticks of damage from the inner flame. Love the lack of interrupts here. Danny reflex interrupts most likely. Or maybe she has a WeakAuras telling her when to interrupt. There is such a thing. Beam is coming in soon. We're going to send our last set of cooldowns here, I believe. We're going to use a defensive. Turn around. Going to use a healing potion. Just got to stay safe here. Got to stay safe. Sorry, reflex interrupt right there. That's my bad. Boss needs to die soon. I saw the cast and I pressed the interrupt. I can't even help myself. Alright, we're almost done here. Don't think we get another blind. Never mind, I lied. Can we kill it before the blind so I don't turn into a liar? We turn around, we don't get blinded, and we time a 16 Priory of the Sacred Flame. Hell yeah. GG. Holy shit, that was awesome. We timed it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That's awesome. Okay, we're working on asking the tank to do the streets he has. That would give me Resil 16s if we do it. He has a 17 streets. I'm waiting for him to let me down easy here. He already said we're gonna ask if he minds if I add him, because I would very much like to do more keys with this tank. This was awesome. It was great tanking, great interrupts. He was unkillable. It was amazing. I don't know what else to ask for. Okay. He says yes, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to add friend, add battle tag, friend, send request. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That is how you gain rating, actually, right there. That's what you do, is you find people that can carry you and then you ask them to be your friend on Battle.net. Now we hit them with the shill message after adding them to the Battle.net friends list. And that gets us like some guilt trip views. It's perfect. I mean, tactics. I love this shit. Well, that was freaking awesome. What a good run. Holy shit. That was, I feel like I did quite well there. I didn't feel like a burden to Danny. Like, I don't think I was particularly difficult to heal. What I want to see is, I want to see the number of uses I get out of exhilaration. So we have, hold on now, 30 applications of survival of the fittest. Question is, how many of those were from the self-heal? Let me see here. I won't see exhilaration here. I think what I have to look at is actually healing. So what we have is, we go to spells, exhilaration, 18 casts, which is a significant increase. Why? Because, actually, okay, so this is the hot, I think. I can't tell how many of this was from us using our defensive and how many of these were from just healing. Actually, I genuinely can't tell. I'm gonna have to check logs, but either way, this is much better than I did before. Another thing I did was I switched to a leech enchant on my wrist, because apparently during cooldowns this actually ends up paying off, and I can see it already because my HPS, so to speak, has increased significantly, and I have a lot more healing from my leech. So I feel like I've done some good stuff here. I am still rocking the like fall damage thing / avoidance cloak though, because I think that is at least some avoidance is nice. 1% avoidance. Oh well, not amazing, but that'll do, pig. That'll do. Still aching because I have champion boots and I have a bunch of hero gear. I desperately need myth pieces. I think the only myth piece I have is the shoulder, and I guess I bought the Yasam, the Rift Breaker, but damn man, I really do be needing them the myth pieces. Yeah, we're gonna have to go into the myth raid at some point. I'm gonna have to pug the first few bosses and or actually consider just paying for boosts, man, paying for boosts in the whatchamacallits. For the two bosses that drop these trinkets right here, and then hoping to get them, honestly. That would be sick. I need to look into the prices for that. I might need to do some gold farming or something, because the difference between a hero and myth trinket is actually really significant when it comes to our DPS. So yeah, but that is long-term stuff for the rest of the season. I don't need it just yet. I think I can still do 16/17s to get stuff timed as it is. But friends, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, make sure you subscribe, because there's more episodes of me struggling my way through M+ to get the title coming, because Jesus, I'm not even close to 18s, let alone title, and title is going to probably, by the end of the season, Resilient 21s or something like that. Something crazy, but we'll see how it ends up working out. I'm very scared of the upcoming key levels. 17s, I think I can still kind of coast through like I am right now, but 18s, I think 18s is where you start just getting one shot by kicks that aren't, like, by missed kicks. So a holy smite to the dome is just going to take you out. And those are going to be very scary. If you made it to this point of the video, comment the word swole, or include the word swole in your comment, because Swoley, our tank, was kicking ass. I loved it. If you do include the word swole in your comment, I'll make sure to heart it when I see it. But as always, friends, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.